Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, we haven't talked about the Zim dollar in a little while, but as of Friday, it's dropped a huge amount of value. Let's get into this. I just want to give everybody a quick reminder. You can go over to Pimpy's News Network. It is free for everybody. Everybody has access to the videos that are on the website. Just keep in mind that it does cost money to maintain. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Miles Franklin. The link will be down below in the description. When you make your purchase, make sure you use promo code PIMPY, P-I-M-P-Y, and they'll take care of you. If you have any additional questions, you can reach us over here at this phone number or over here at this particular email. For all orders over $10,000, reach out by email and we'll make sure that you get a great deal. So come on over to Miles Franklin and add to your precious metal inventory. All right, it said the Zim currency lost 43% on Friday, 43% of its value, and it's still bleeding. Zimbabwe's gold-backed currency, which was devalued by 43% by the central bank on Friday, remained under pressure on Monday. The ZiG, short for Zimbabwe gold, was quoted at 24.88 per dollar. In other words, for every $1 you got 24.88 ZiG dollars, compared to 24.39 on Friday, according to the data compiled by Bloomberg. The ZiG was devalued last week in the face of persistent weakness on the unofficial market, aimed deep skepticism that the Southern African nation, this is the sixth time they've tried to get a new currency off the ground. To stand up a valuable local currency since 2009 would succeed. Previous attempts to establish a Zimbabwe currency were undermined by the central bank's printing money to finance government borrowing, something Central Bank Governor John Mushiavanhu has repeatedly said won't happen under his watch. Yeah, that's what they all say. That's why you got to pay attention to what these politicians are telling you. Now, we're not quite at the point, but we're pretty close to it. Over there, they killed each other's political opponent. We're almost there now. Still, serious economic challenges remain for a nation that has lacked access to digital capital markets since 1999 after defaulting on its debt. While we know that when it comes to natural resources, Iraq is sitting on approximately 16 trillion and Zimbabwe is sitting on 2.5 trillion in natural resources. So there's no reason for the people to be suffering like they're doing, with the exception of a very corrupt government. While this is a positive step, it is unlikely to be a one-time adjustment, said Lyle Begbie, an economist at Oxford Economics, in a research note. The country's wide current account and fiscal deficits, along with limited access to external capital markets, will continue to place sufficient pressure on its currency. In addition to devaluing the ZiG, the central bank also raised interest rates to 35% from 20% and took other measures to shore up the currency, including capping the amount of foreign currencies an individual took out of the country at $2,000 compared to $10,000 before. Mushiavanhu, in an interview with the state-controlled Sunday Mail newspaper, said the devaluation would have a critical shock-absorbing impact on the prevailing access liquidity in the economy, which will help anchor inflation expectations. Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa will deliver a State of the Nation's address on Wednesday, at which he is expected to touch on the latest economic developments. Traders on the Zimbabwe Stock Exchange said on Monday they don't expect the currency's devaluation to cause a material disruption in the stock prices. The stock exchange has always been priced to the parallel and unofficial market, which means the lower value ZiG was already factored in. The impact will be on the foreign investors that were looking to leave the stock market. The ZiG, backed by Zimbabwe's gold and hard currencies reserves, was introduced in early April to replace the Zimbabwe dollar, which had lost 80% of its value since the start of the year. ZiG reserves currently stand at 380 million. I know you guys keep getting told that, the old Zimbabwe, their bonds, therefore they can't, it's against the law, they have all this money. It's just bullshit, you guys. These are the new ZiG dollars right here. All the other currencies prior to this are obsolete. So in order for you to be invested in Zimbabwe, you have to have these currencies right here. I know I'm the bad guy that tells you guys the truth and people don't like it. Merchants, public transport operators, and other institutions are rejecting the ZiG after the Reserve Bank devalued the currency by 40% on Friday. Anxiety over further devaluation of the ZiG, Zimbabwe's sixth attempt at a currency since 2009, is driving the rejections. Since 2009, Zimbabwe has tried 6 different times. They've created 6 different currencies to try to get one of them to take off. So when I tell people I don't invest in the Zim dollar because they keep changing it all the time. And again, I get it. They're trying to tell you out there that, hey, the Zim dollar is good and it's a bond and blah, blah. They're just lying to you. Lying to you. I have posted many videos proving to you guys that it's not true what they're lying to you guys about. It says our suppliers have been refusing to accept ZiGs for a long time, and this devaluation is only going to worsen the situation. So why should we accept it? And that's a good question. Look, if you're trying to do business internationally and they won't even accept your local currency, yeah, that's not a good place to be in as a country. So on Monday, the ZiG was trading at 24.88 against the greenbacks compared to 24.39 on Friday. So it did jump up a little bit. Zimbabwe's headline inflation quickened to 1.4% in August, and the currency devaluation is expected to worsen inflation. The government takes the opposite view and believes the devaluation will erase inflation. Not all the time. This is what I'm talking about. You have to have a government in place that's not corrupt and understands policies, understands monetary policies. According to the Consumer Council of Zimbabwe, some traders are rejecting the ZiG from customers. Most traders are not accepting ZiG swipe, and if accepted, the rate will be too high, often above the ZiGs 25 per US dollar. The official rate is 25 ZiGs for every $1, but the black market is much higher, which is an indirect way of not accepting the ZiG swipe. 4 cab drivers also told Tech Cabal that they are rejecting ZiG because they cannot buy fuel with the currency. If I cannot buy fuel with the currency, pay levies, and it's also devaluing, why should I accept it then? The story is the same for civil servants. I did not even have the chance to cash the salary, and as a result, it's half its worth, but shelf prices haven't budged, said a secondary school teacher in Arcadia who received his salary on Thursday. And as you can see, school teachers are wanting the adjustment based on a devaluation to their salaries. The Minister of Finance and the government should not wait to be told that since the ZiG has officially devalued by 44% to the US dollar, the ZiG component of the salary should be automatically adjusted. Having experienced multiple currency devaluations in the past 15 years, Zimbabweans know firsthand the pain of savings turning worthless overnight. The government and the central bank must convince their citizens that the ZiG still has a fight in it. Anyways, that's it for now. I'm out.